Hey everyone. We had a little bit of some technical difficulties, but we are getting it squared away. So just bear with me for just a second. All right. All right. So welcome everyone. I'm going to try to work this out. Thank you for your quick change. Let me let my people monitoring the chat know that there has been a change. Let me see. We're going to get this together in just one moment. I just want to make sure everyone who needs to be there is there. All right. So let me pull it up on my screen so I can see. I think we've got everything now. Welcome everyone to my Tech Talk with the Teachers. I want to say again, thank you for your quick change and your ability to kind of find us very quickly and join. We're going to talk a little bit about, all right, let me just make sure it is showing. Okay, it's live. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about how you can get to your students' things on Schoology, as well as how you can see their grades and things like that. So I'm trying to make sure we've got everyone in. I'm going to actually give it, because we had our quick change, I'm actually going to give it a couple more minutes before we get started to make sure everyone was able to make that shift from the previous page to this page. So I'm just going to give it maybe 2 minutes to see, so we don't start and then have to redo. So give me 2 minutes to get everyone to shift over, and then we will go ahead and get started on everything that you need to know. I'm on a live. We'll talk about it later. Excuse me, y'all. Let me lock my door right quick, and I will be right back. Hello, we had some technical difficulties. Ms. Peterson is joining us. Ms. Peterson, do you want to introduce yourself while I make sure the people we need to get shifted are shifted?
Sure, I can do that. I'm Ms. Peterson. I'm the other tech coordinator for Jefferson Davis High School. We're here to service your needs and help in any way possible. Thank you.
And again, for those of you who are just now kind of making the shift over, I'm Ms. Copeland, the other tech coordinator. And I completely agree with everything that Ms. Peterson just said. We're here to just help make it a little bit easier for you to transition and with this digital world, making sure you have access to everything that you need for your student. So I know some people made it and some people may not have made it, but we're gonna go ahead with the YouTube Live. This will be recorded anyways. So if anyone did miss any part of it, you can always just view it later. So we're gonna start with the few things that you need to get to. The biggest thing is the JD website is gonna be where you can access most of the things that the students get to, because some things like Schoology can be a little tricky. If you go straight to Schoology.com, it's not going to allow you to log in. So I'm going to share my screen.
Yes, correct. Copeland really stressed that they need to go through the MPS website to the For Students, then click down because every day we get those calls saying that they cannot log in.
Yes. So I'm going to walk you through that step, because if the students are, number one, I guess even before that, the tips are you want to be in Google Chrome. We're a Google school, so going through Google Chrome allows, especially with, I mean, most students have Chromebooks, but even if you don't, you need to use Google Chrome as your internet browser, because that allows that Google S number email that the students have. It allows that to actually give them access. So let me see how this screen share works with my two screens. All right. Oh, y'all see my email. We don't, that's not the right. Sorry, y'all. Let me try that again. All right, let's see. I can't, I'm not used to running it off Zoom. So y'all don't see the right thing. Let me try that one more time. It keeps going to my email and that's not even up. See, sometimes even I.
Right. Technology has a mind of its own.
It does. Let's try. Well, I'm just going to put it on this screen and go from there. Let me see. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's try this one. So what do y'all see right now? You see my email still?
No, we see Schoology.
Okay. But before we even get to Schoology, this I wanted to have a student view ready, but you go to the JD website. You can just type in Jeff Davis, Montgomery, Alabama, or as you can see at the top, it's jd.mps-al.org. So that is your kind of the first place you need to look. We put any notifications, any announcements go there. And again, this is going to be the best way to get to the links that you need to get to. So, and you can also go through the MPS. Actually, that's probably even easier. Montgomery Public Schools. That way you can use the same thing.
That comes up first anyway for them.
That's on Chromebooks. It's going to show up, and also if you have kids from other schools, you can use the same thing. So when you're in the MPS page, you're going to go to For Students, and if you click it, it'll pop up. But you also can just hover, and you go all the way down to Schoology. That is the link that you want to use, and that's going to pull you up what you need, and not take you to Schoology.com, which is going to say it's not going to work. So Schoology.com is not our website. We have our own specific website for MPS, and you can see it up here. it's not the same. So you do need to go through the website. Now I have mine saved. I put the star on it, so it's saved to my, I'm in incognito right now, but I save it so it's on my bookmark bar, which if you click, it's not gonna let me do it incognito, but if you click on the star and you view your bookmarks, show bookmarks bar, it will allow you to go to that one every time, so you don't have to go through the MPS page. But if you don't have it started, you want to go through the MPS homepage for students in Schoology. Now, when your student first logs in, most of them are going to see this recent activity unless they've changed their settings. These are important. These are things that they need to see. This is something from our principals and our assistant principals. There's often links to, like, here's something about Evening Academy or other things that they need to do or fill out. And even things that their teachers have posted will also show up on here. So it is important that they do access these, because these are basically like our morning announcements that we don't, you know, a lot of students are virtual and they aren't able to access those. So this is where those announcements come from. When you, every day your child should be going to all of their classes. There's a homeroom. School starts at 7:30. So they need to be reporting to digitally too. They need to be reporting at 7:30. As we take attendance that can mess up virtually, you still do have to log in order to get that attendance. So it's definitely important to make sure they're here and make sure they're logging in to all of their classes on time.
All right, then Copeland, let me just add as well, that even though we are technology and we handle a variety of things, what students and parents need to be aware of is that just because your teacher did not post a conference for that day does not mean that the internet is not working. You will need to check with your teacher to see if a conference is available. If there is no conference, just send an email just to follow up. We have no control over that, you know, because I know that's been a problem and an issue as well.
That's a good point. And also that just because there's not a conference doesn't mean there is not work.
Exactly.
Sometimes there may be a teacher who, you know, even though we're virtual, teachers are still taking a day off. If they take that day off, you still need to check. So that's the overall, this is the whole school dashboard. But when you go into those classes, you still will have, most teachers will put in updates. So anything that, see, whenever there was something that was important, many teachers now, mine is very extra, but some teachers just write it in black and white.
Exactly. Or they put folders up like I do.
Correct.
You know, folders for the day.
And that's another place. So you can see all the folders, 1, week 2, and their assignments. Now, as a parent, your biggest thing is you don't necessarily have to go through and click every single folder. There's a couple of ways for you to see what they need to do and what they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Without having to go through folder. You know, most kids kind of know the structure of each teacher's class. They know that mine goes by week, and then they have graded assignments and resources. Every teacher doesn't have it exactly the same. But a place you can see is, so let's remind, we're back on Schoology. This is recent activity, and you see right here, if there's things that are overdue or upcoming, that's right on that main page. When you click on these are all clickable links. That is going to take you directly to the assignment that they were supposed to do. So as a parent, you don't necessarily have to go through all the folders. Anything that was assigned to your student, you can see right here in this link for overdue or upcoming. And another place that you can see it is if you go to the calendar, you click on the calendar, it also will show anything that your students have to do. And again, it's clickable and it'll let you view and go straight to the assignment. So there's multiple ways. I think as a teacher, as a parent, you don't necessarily need to go through every folder to look at every, sometimes we have in-class assignments. The biggest thing for you to do is go through their, when you're in their courses, again, I know I keep going back, but I want to make sure you know where it's at. So when you're in their courses, you can see anything that's upcoming right here, or in their calendar, you can see anything upcoming. And you can also go to their grade report and you can see there. Now, I'm saying that, and as you click on these, you can see each grade. Now, our grades come from iNow. So iNow is where you're going to need to make sure that the grades are correct in iNow. But what you can do, I'm sorry, Ms. Peterson, did you want to say something?
I was just saying correct, because a lot of times parents have also been concerned that the Schoology grade does not match the iNow grade, but I have assured them follow the iNow grade.
Correct. Oftentimes teachers will have things in Schoology that may not be graded because Schoology, remember, that's like our classroom now. So anything that may be done in class, or there could be assignments that are done outside of Schoology that are being graded that are not in. So when I say go to the grade book, you're not really going to use it for your grades, but you can use it to look for assignments. So if you look and you see, it's just another one of those ways you can go to assignments.
Exactly.
You can go to grades, you can go to the calendar, or you can go to the class and look at upcoming assignments for that. Let's see. Okay, so Ms. Pete, let's see.
And also make sure that, it is stressed that we are odd, even, because a lot of times parents will say, well, you didn't go live today, but it was an even day, not an odd day,
Ms. Peterson, will you share your screen and show them the calendar? I know you have it right up on your classroom. I'm going to try to share this link again, this YouTube link. Will you share? I know you have it pulled. Well, I can pull it up on mine actually. Let me see.
Well, because it's saying I could not share because I was a host.
Right. I'm going to send it to, see, I just sent that YouTube link to y'all. See if y'all can post it out where it needs to go. Okay, so as far as the schedule, and this is the daily schedule is already on the website, and we just got this new even odd day schedule. So that will be posted on the website shortly, but I'm going to go to where my course is because I know I have the schedule up as far as seeing.
Correct. I do as well. Yeah.
Most teachers have it in their updates. So this part is already on the website, and the other part will be on the website this afternoon. Again, we did just make some changes to the schedule, so we had to pull down the old one. This is the times are the same every day. So your student is logging into something every day from 7:30 to 2:45. Now, as far as the green and white, basically Monday is the only day that's a little bit odd. Everything else is on Wednesdays and Fridays is even, and Tuesdays and Thursdays is odd. Every time, every Tuesday, every Thursday is always going to be odd, and every Wednesday and every Friday is going to be even, plus fifth period. Fifth period goes every day, but everything else is the same. The only part that can be slightly confusing, and where Ms. Peterson was talking about making sure that they're in the right class, is on Mondays, we have to alternate our schedule because we need to make sure they get the right number of classes of each time. So this schedule tells you exactly, and again, this will be on the JD website shortly, but it tells you odd or even. So this is where you're going to look on Monday only to see whether it's odd or even. Everything else will be exactly the same for the rest of the week. So that's kind of a day in the life. Your child should be logging in at 7:30. They go to homeroom, and then they're going to go to, if it's a Tuesday or Thursday, they're going to do 1, 3, 5, 7. If it's a Wednesday or Friday, they're going to go to homeroom 2, 4, 5, 6. So it's the same every day. That will always be the same. But yes, that is definitely a troubleshooting tip, is if the student is saying either there are no conferences showing or that it's not letting them in the conference, that they may be in the wrong day.
Exactly.
That's definitely something to look at. Now, as we said with iNow is actually where the kids get their grades from. All of the student iNow passwords have been reset to our default, which is JDHS 0370. So all student passwords have been reset. Many students already have their usernames. It is not the same as their Schoology login, but most of them already have that. If they do not, they can contact, all teachers have access to those usernames. when they access it through their usernames, they're going to log in with that password we give you, but it's going to say the password has expired and they need to put in a new password.
And the old password is the default that we've given you.
Correct. When it says old, it's not what your last one.
Right.
It's that JDHS. So you put it in and it's going to take you in and it's going to say your password has expired. You use JDHS as old and then you put your new, whatever you chose, in twice. Now, parents, we do have to verify your email address. So on the JD website, look for a form that'll allow you to upload a picture of your driver's license, and that will be verification enough to get it, or you can come up to the school and they will give you your own personal INL, so you don't have to log in as your student. And what else it helps with is, for example, I have 2 kids. I can log in under my own name and I can see both of them with a drop-down menu where I don't have to log in separately as each of my kids. So that's something that you can definitely work on that way. If you come in and we verify that you're in iNow as a parent or guardian of the student, we can actually allow you to do it that way. And I know some of you, I think, let me make sure Ms. Dees is still available. We're in a moment, we're going to talk about if your child has been struggling academically. I'm going to pull her up in just a second, but there is one other thing that I want to share. So back to the JD website. Again, JD and MPS websites are going to be that's your home base. That's where you start. Anytime we have anything new, any updates, that's where they go. So when you go there, if your child is absent, and that includes if your child is face-to-face and they do not come to school, even if they tried to log in virtually, they are still going to show up in the system as absent because the system has them coded as face-to-face. And if they were not face-to-face, they're considered absent. And in order for grades to go in, they need to turn in excuses. Now, obviously, we're not turning things in handing things over as we used to. So if you're on the JD website and you go to excuses, it will take you to this email. Now, sometimes, let's see, I've already verified mine, so it allowed me to pull up the email. But if you did not verify, it's going to make you verify whatever your email carrier is. Or an easier way is if you right click on that excuse email, you can copy the email address. And then if you use Gmail, you just open another tab and send it that way. So if you don't want to verify, maybe you're on a different computer, you don't want to verify it through the system, you can just copy that email address, make sure you send the email with a picture of if there was a doctor's note, or if it's just you saying they weren't feeling well, so they're at home, or whatever your reason is for that. You make sure to include that in the excuse so that your child can get that grade for any makeup work that was done. I was trying to make it kind of quick and to the point. Is there anything else that you can think of, Ms. Peterson, that you would like to add?
The only thing I wanted to add also, that a lot of problems have been occurring with personal internet services at home as well, because we will have a lot of calls saying, oh, my Chromebook isn't working, and it's really a matter of not being connected to the Wi-Fi. So that's a lot of troubleshooting that parents and students need to do before, as well as when they bring their own devices, to make sure that they are logged on to the MPS guest. It has been working rather well. We're gonna knock on wood that it continues.
I forgot that let me stop sharing my screen so I can check the chat. Well, Ms. Dees, if you'll go ahead and talk, and then I will check the chat, and then I'll come back on when you're ready, when you're done.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. I am Shanitra Dees. I am the accountability interventionist here at Jefferson Davis High School. I'm responsible for tracking our student data, both academically and as well as cohort information. And I am also responsible for creating interventions and things that will help students to try to stay on track during the school year, as well as finding ways to help students maintain their cohort. And when we say cohort, we're speaking about staying on track for graduation within 4 years. Some things that I want to remind you all of is some tips on how to assist your child during this transition. A lot of students are not, well, they're somewhat accustomed to remote learning, but some of the key things I want to stress is that students remain organized. That is very, very important. I'm speaking to you as a parent of a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old in school. One is face to face and one is remote. My 13-year-old is actually remote and he's at home by himself all day. And one thing, so I understand the challenge that it is, but being organized, making sure that students are organized, that they have their notes. If they have a consumable textbook, meaning they have a textbook all their own, I think the English department offers that. If they have textbooks assigned to them, they are to utilize those hardcover textbooks to assist them. Classroom management is time management is also key. We know a lot of our students have smartphones, iPhones, Samsung Notes. There is a thing called a calendar built into their phones. Teach your children how to use that calendar, so when their teachers set deadlines and say, well, this test will be next Tuesday, that they go in and set reminders. This project is due, because teachers are still giving projects virtually because school has not stopped. Only the delivery method. We're still expecting them to do the assignments that's going to help them demonstrate proficiency and mastery at some level. Some students are going to master those standards because they will still be expected to participate in our state assessments that will be coming in the spring. So time management, have them, if they have a hard copy planner, that's something that can be picked up at Five and Below or the Dollar Tree. If they're the type that I have to write it down and see it, or use their cell phones to set deadlines and important reminders for them. Because they are home and we do flip that schedule. So the first tip I'm offering is organization. They need a notebook. Although everything is online, I still think it's important that they may keep a notebook, especially for those courses that they may struggle with, that they take those notes, that they go back and review the videos that are recorded in conferences. And if the teacher's using Zoom, teachers can set it where Zoom will record and the teacher can download it and share those Zooms. Again, I'm reminding you of the second tip, which is time management, making sure that students are utilizing their calendars in their phones to set reminders for time. If it's difficulty getting up in the morning, they also have clocks on their cell phones. My son, remember, I have to be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning. My husband has to be to work at 8. My son's schools require that they log in at 7:12. So sometimes there's nobody home with my son to remind him to get up out of the bed. We usually get him up before we leave, but he knows that that timer goes off and we're expecting him to be in homeroom on time every morning. Inspect what you expect. That's the third tip I'm going to say to parents. Inspect what you expect. So again, if you do not have your iNow pins, make sure that you contact the school, or Ms. Copeland is going to share a link with you all that you can put your information in and we can give you your iNow pin. This allows you to monitor your child's grades in real time and their class attendance as well. You don't have to wait for the school to send you a progress report. You don't have to wait for the school to send you a report card. This is at the palm of your hand or just a screen away if you have a computer. So it's very, very important. So when you see that this child was marked tardy, you can ask those questions. Why are you tardy? Especially if you ride the bus. Why are you tardy? Whatever the case may be. But inspect what you expect. Lesson plans. You can log into iNow and see teachers' lesson plans, which give you the learning expectation for the week. Grades are updated every Thursday. And so, and sometimes if it's a test, it may not be immediately, because remember, you have to give teachers time to put grades in, but also you can contact your teachers via Schoology. Or you can go to the website and send us emails directly. So you can either send them through your child in Schoology, or you can contact your teachers directly in from our JD website. Please go to our JD website. It's very, very vital that you do, because there's a lot of pertinent information and resources there for parents. The last thing, so those are some tips in helping us navigate and helping our students be successful with remote learning and face-to-face learning. Again, I want to say, help students be organized. They don't necessarily have to have a whole lot of pencil and paper, but for those babies who may need it, encourage that they take those notes. Again, student learns by repetition how they see it multiple times and apply the information. Teachers are assigning homework. It may not necessarily be homework, but if they didn't finish, so if they're telling you, I don't have anything to do, don't trust that. So make sure that your child is organized. Two, I'm going to recommend that you help your child with time management. That means going to bed at night, setting those timers to get up in time enough to be in homeroom. This is how your child is counted for the day. So if your child gets an unexcused absence off in homeroom, they can't do any, they may do work, but it'll be an unexcused absence. All the teacher can do is put in a 0. And the last thing I ask of parents is inspect what you expect. Is the expectation is that your child should have an A or a B, then we need you helping us and checking in to make sure that they're submitting assignments, that when you're checking. I now looking at lesson plans, which tell you what the assessments are, what the minor grades are, what we're looking at this week. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk to parents about, we have 2 things going on that are about to begin simultaneously. Great Recovery began last Wednesday. Great Recovery is designed to assist students who may have fallen behind during the 9 weeks. This is a part of response to instruction. It is actually a tier 3, tier 2 strategy. Because of the extenuating circumstances of COVID, we opened it up to all students for the first 9 weeks. That will not be the case going forward because we're implementing our tier 2 interventions during the second 9 weeks. So if your child failed a course during the first 9 weeks, that's like a do-over. But going forward, we're expecting that students are actively engaged in learning. So there will be a flyer going out to students today. We'll be posting on our website that going forward, students must show that they're putting their first efforts into acquiring the knowledge and skills to be productive. That means if they're not taking notes and they fail a test, a teacher will assign remediation or require them to attend tutoring. If they do not do this, then that may disqualify them from Great Recovery. If the student is not logging into conferences, this may disqualify them. If students are not submitting work in a timely fashion, this may disqualify them. If students are refusing to do the things that they need to do during tier 2 intervention, this may disqualify them from Great Recovery. The goal here is not promotion. I'll say it to you and I'll say it to anyone else. Them being promoted to the next grade and not acquiring the skill is not helping them and is not helping Jefferson Davis High School. We need students to be proficient so that they score at least a 17 on the ACT, that they're scoring at least a 4 on the work keys or above, because this is about college and career readiness. If students are not learning the skills that they need, they want to go to the military and they're not scoring well on the math, the vocabulary and the reading, then the military, they won't be qualified for the military. So we want to get out of our head that it's about promotion. If students are doing what they need to do to learn the skills, they're going to be promoted because their grades will reflect that. So I just want to go ahead and share that now going forward. It won't be just automatically, oops, I'm going to go to Great Recovery, I'm going to do Edgenuity. Mm-hmm. No, we're not doing that anymore because that has not served us well and it's not serving the students well. Last but not least, we're in the process of starting our evening academy, which is for credit recovery. Credit recovery is for students who may be missing a credit or failed a credit, and they need this credit in order to maintain cohort. When I say maintain cohort, I'm saying we're assisting those students and offering those students an opportunity to earn the credits that they need in order to stay within their graduation cohort within 4 years. This will help your student graduate in a timely fashion, and also it helps us maintain excellent graduation rates. Again, we're stressing that we want our students to acquire skills, because we don't want to continue to have a gap in between students who graduate and our college and career readiness rates. So if you have any questions about grade recovery, you will see Dr. Brian Barlow. You can go to our website and email him, brian.barlow@mps.k12.al.us. Any questions about grade recovery? All teachers are familiar with grade recovery. You can contact your child's teacher. Also, I just want to say one more thing. With grade recovery, teachers have the option to use whatever tool they feel is best for your child to acquire the skills. Although it equates to a grade, the primary focus, again, is skills. So some teachers may use Edgenuity, and others may, again, reassign them the skills-based and standards-based assignments that they did not do well in the first 9 weeks. Thank you all for listening, and go Vols.
Thank you, Dees. All right, so I think I answered the questions that were in the chat. I did just post the form for parents if they need iNow access. That will also go up to the website. I'm sorry, I'm trying to look, and no, Schoology, currently, parents don't have access to there's not a parent portal. The parent portal is not open for parents for Schoology. So that's when you're just going to have to get your child to log in. If you're trying to keep on top of them, you are going to want to do it where you have them log in, and then you can see what it is. That's kind of what I do with my kids. Is when I get home, I make them log in, I make them go to their calendar, I make them go to their, upcoming assignments. I open it up and make sure that if it was due today, that it shows that it's submitted. So currently, like I said, the Schoology parent portal is not open, but I know where their final grades is. You can have access to that. And Schoology, I think, is more of just to make sure that you're staying on top of them before it becomes a bad grade. Mm-hmm. So the best way is just to log in, have them show you their calendar, have them show you their upcoming, and that kind of that stuff, so you can keep on top of it before it becomes a bad grade in iNow. The link,
and parents check weekly.
Yes, or if you're as nervous
daily.
as I am, I check.
Yeah,
I check a lot. I check so when I get home, I can say, "What was that test that you?" I check. You don't have to check as often as me, but weekly at the least, you should be checking. The form, it may need to be copy and pasted. Let me see. I just resent the link. Let me make sure it works. You're gonna have to copy it and paste it in a new tab. I don't think the chat is gonna let me post it as a link. Oh, it says it doesn't match. Again with technology. All right, hold on. Never a dull moment when you're using a computer. It's not cooperating. Okay, I'm just going to, I don't know why it's not working. I'm just going to post it on the website. I'm going to do it as soon as we're done with this YouTube Live. I'm not sure exactly why YouTube isn't being friends with Google Forms, but I'm just going to post it on the website momentarily. Let me see. I don't know why. Yeah, it's not popping up. So something is not doing right, but when you are in iNow, you can go to your the best way to see all their grades is their comprehensive progress report, because that'll show you all their classes and all their grades, and it'll show it. When teachers put the assignments in iNow, you can actually use that. If you don't want to use your child's login in Schoology, you can actually use that as well, because when they put the assignment in, it will show. And so if there's, a lot of teachers will put the assignment in before they actually even grade it. So you can kind of follow along with what is due or what is being done in class in iNow as well. I am about to post that, but let me see. Were there any other questions? Nope, I think that's it. Thanks, Ms. Jones. And again, I'm Ms. Copeland. You can always email me. That's Ms. Peterson, we can, and I guess that's the one last thing is I didn't show how to get to an email from the website. Let me do that right quick. Let's see if it'll share right this time.
No, give me 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Okay, so when you're on the JD website, you can, let's see if this works right for me. When you go to school staff, uh-oh. That didn't work right. Okay, so this is the list of all the teachers. You can actually email them right from this page. You can go to, I was trying to find my name, but you just click on that and it's gonna pop up. And again, it'll send it right from here. You don't have to even move it anywhere else, or you can go, you can just type their name in if you know it. Once you start sending emails, those will pop up. But you just go to About Our School, School Staff, and it's an alphabetical listing of all the teachers, and it tells you what subject they teach as well. So in case you're like, I know it's an English teacher, I can't remember, you can kind of find it that way. And with your child's iNow, that'll give you access to their names. You can easily email them that way. But if we don't have any other questions, Ms. Peterson, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, not at this time.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.